Mr. Chairman, today's oversight hearing will examine the critically important steps that the Obama administration is taking to address climate change by reducing dangerous carbon pollution from the biggest source, power plants. They account for 40% of all carbon pollution released into the air, and we are seeing the consequences. Let's look at the trends across the country. It's official. 2014 was the hottest year in recorded history. 2014 was Earth's warmest year on record. How hot was it? 2014 was Earth's warmest year on record. Data shows. So everyone can say whatever they want and say, oh, it's cold and it's snowing. We all know the facts are the facts. And for goodness sakes, how out of step can people be with the scientists and with the people of this country who are so far ahead? Thank you. NASA and NOAA found that in 134 years of record keeping, no year has been hotter around the globe than 2014. The President's proposal will enable America to lead the way to avert the most calamitous impacts of climate change, such as sea level rise, dangerous heat waves, and economic disruption to our farmers, to our businesses, to our tourist industry, to our people. I often say, if people can't breathe, they can't work or go to school. And we know that this particular proposal will avoid up to 3,700 cases of bronchitis in children, 150,000 asthma attacks, 3,300 heart attacks, 6,600 premature deaths, and 490,000 missed days at school. Now, who are we working for? The people of this country or the polluters? I think that's the question. The Obama administration gets it, and so do the American people. Let's look at a new Stanford University poll, which found that 83% of Americans, including 61% of Republicans, say if nothing is done to reduce carbon pollution, global warming will be a serious problem into the future. And 77% of Americans of all political stripes say the federal government should be doing a substantial amount to combat climate change. Last year, this committee heard from 4 former EPA administrators, all Republicans, who served under Presidents Nixon, George W. Bush. They all agreed that climate change requires action now, and it shouldn't be a partisan issue. I thought for sure that would change some minds on my Republican side. Not one mind was changed. Now, the President's plan relies on the authorities under the Clean Air Act, which was created with an overwhelming bipartisan consensus that I yearn for today. In 1970, the Clean Air Act passed the Senate by a vote of 73-0, passed the House by 375-1, it was signed into law by President Nixon. The Clean Air Act has a proven track record of success, and what President Obama is doing is building on that success. I often say, in all the years I've been in office, it's a long time, no one ever complained that the air was too clean. Oh, gee, Barbara, the air's just clean enough. Don't do anything more. They want us to keep cleaning up the air. And my home state has been a leader in proving you can reduce carbon pollution and grow this economy. California households pay the 9th lowest electricity bills, and the per-person carbon footprint is among the lowest in the country. We also added, get this, 491,000 jobs in the first year of the state's cap-and-trade system, a job growth rate of 3.3%, better than the national rate of 2.5%. And over the last 4 years, we have turned a $26 billion budget deficit into a projected $4 billion surplus. So don't tell me that if you move forward on clean air, you destroy the economy or destroy your budget. It's quite the opposite. Climate change is happening now. We can't afford to wait, and I commend the President and the EPA for taking action to protect our families and our children from the worst impacts. In the time remaining, I ask unanimous consent to place into the record the article today in the Washington Post.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It says, studies on modifying climate urged. Geoengineering would be a risky last resort, scientists say. I urge everyone to read this. We don't need this brave new world of geoengineering. We can move forward on the policies that the President has put forward and that Republican presidents have put forward. And let's move ahead and do the right thing for our children and our families and our nation.